Hello everyone, it's Comfort Beach Ambish and welcome to another PHP episode. We are going to learn about the PHP regular expressions. Yeah, so before we could go any further, we need to make sure that we understand what that regular expression thing is. Okay, so a regular expression can be defined as a sequence of characters that make up a specific search pattern. So uh, this means that a regular expression can either be in multiple characters or just a single character. So mostly we do make use of regular expressions when we're trying to search for a specific for a specific search pattern. Let's say in an instance whereby we have a collection of words like okay, let me just say like this. Let's say you own like a platform and you don't want people to be using abusive languages there. So let's say if you do set up a regular some regular expressions to say if what this user post contains anything like this or words like these, some sort of abusive words, then that post shouldn't go through, or the post should be automatically be banned, just like the way Facebook does it. They have set some sensitive words. They do, yeah, some sensitive words whereby your post can't go through if it contains any of those words. So that could also apply to regular expressions in PHP. Okay, so let's get to understand that. What I'm just going to do here is I'm going to create a new file. I'm going to name it episode episode 15 episode 15, and then I'm going to say uh reg expressions expressions .php. Okay, so a regular expression. Before we could go further with the regular expressions, we need to understand of uh, uh, the components of a regular expression. So, a regular expression consists of. Okay, where is my notepad? So that can be working together through this session. So a regular expression first consists of uh, a delimiter. So now, what's a delimiter? Okay, so a delimiter is a special character that that we put on these regular expressions to search for a specific pattern. Okay, so mostly a delimiter can be anything, any special character, and you just have to make sure that your delimiter is not uh, a number or any of the words. So the mostly used delimiter character is the forward slash. Okay, so the first component here we have the delimiter. Secondly, the delimiter consists of what we call a pattern. Okay, so a pattern in a regular expression is a word a word or or characters that we are searching for. So mostly we just write them down as we first start with the delimiter here. Like I said, the delimiter can be any special character, and the mostly used is the forward slash. So if we are searching for a certain word, like let's say PHP, so we just have to say delimiter PHP. Okay, and lastly here, another component of a regular expression is a modifier. So modifiers help us to state how we'd like this search pattern to be done, if you would want it to be case sensitive or not. So mostly we do make use of an I on the modifiers. So in an instance whereby you would like to make a search pattern of PHP, we have this formula which comes like this: delimiter, delimiter, uh, delimiter, and then word pattern, delimiter, pattern, modifier, which can be written as, in simple terms, pattern and I, like this. So in an instance where I would want to search for a word like book from from a sequence of characters, what you just have to do is to put forward slash and then book. Then we also add another book, and then we also add another slash. We say I, which makes it case sensitive. So which means in this sequence we are searching for a book. So now, enough of this. So now, let's go to coding. So we start our PHP syntax here, and then let's say we have, let's say we have. Okay, so before that, these are the mostly used the regular expressions in PHP. These functions: prig, match, prig match. Okay, I'll explain each one of them. So the first one is prig match. Go to preg match underscore o, and lastly we have prig uh replace, prig replace. So this the prig means PHP regular, ex, PHP regular expression. So let's go. So these are the mostly used functions, regular expression functions in PHP. So we're going to start with pregmatch. So now, what is pregmatch? We simply make use of pregmatch when we're trying to search for a specific character or characters uh, from a sequence of characters. Yes, like for instance, let's say we have let me give you an example, a simple example which I do have with me. Okay, so let's say I do have a string. I do have a string. Okay, so let me just name it word, and then it shows welcome to PHP lessons. Welcome to PHP lessons. And then we have a pattern. Remember, like I said, a pattern is a sequence of characters that we look that we search for from a sequence of characters. Okay, so let's say our pattern is equals to. Okay, so we need to ensure that we follow the rule which I stated here, this rule, this formula here. Okay, so let's say in this scenario, you want to check if this word has, if this string has characters PHP. So what do we do? We just have to follow that formula. We put it in quotes, and then we say forward slash PHP, and then we need to ensure that this is case sensitive. So you could just put an I here. Okay, okay, this should work. This should work. Okay, now apart from that, so what? Let me make an explanation before I could add any functions here. So here, what we're trying to do is we have this word which is welcome to PHP lessons, and then we also, let's say, and also we also have this string here, the pattern. We have this pattern variable here, and then which has a forward slash. So a forward slash is for the delimiter, which makes up a search pattern, and then in between, and then after the delimiter we have PHP. So after the delimiter we do have the word PHP, and then another delimiter here, and then we also have this I. This I ensures that our search is case sensitive. So now from this word string here, what you want to look for is this, are these characters PHP, are they there? Okay, so let's try to find out if they are there. So what do we do? We're just going to let me just go direct to say echo prig match, echo prig match, and then so prig match takes two parameters here. The first one is the pattern that you're looking for, and then secondly is where you are searching for that pattern from. So we are looking for a PHP word here. Since the reason why I've said PHP is because it's in between these delimiters here, pattern, and then where are you looking for this pattern from? So we are looking from, we are searching from word. Okay, so let me try to run this code and see what will happen. Okay, so go to that directory, PHP regular expression. So this pragmat here, it does return one when the pattern is found. If the pattern is not found, it does return zero. So one is for true and zero is for false. So it's more like a set that we learned in the previous episode, which only returns true or false. So same applies to preg match. So whenever it returns one, it means that pattern or word or string or characters were found. Okay, so if I try to put in anything like let's say uh C sharp. Let's say we're searching for C sharp from this word. We're going to find that it will return zero this time. Zero. Why? Because if we try to check from this word here, there is nothing like C sharp here. Okay, so let me revert PHP. Okay, so this is how we do it. Preg match. Let me comment out preg match preg match function. Always remember, preg match is a PHP regular expression function that we use to search for a specific search pattern from a sequence of characters. So with this preg match, it either returns one or zero. So one is for true, zero is for false. So when the pattern is found, it returns one, and when it's not, it returns zero. Okay, so I'm going to comment out on this so that it doesn't disturb what you be that you'll be doing next. So let's go to, okay. So we are done with preg match here. Let's go to preg match all. So this preg match all here. Okay, let me maximize. Okay, so we do also have the preg match all. So this preg match all, this preg match all function, it does return a number of a number of times a specific search pattern has been found from a collection of characters. You understand me? Okay, so let's say in a scenario, let's say in a scenario whereby we have the rain in Spain falls mainly on the plains, something like this. I just did a copy paste from from W3 schools. This okay, so I did a copy paste of this from W3 schools since I couldn't come up with my own string. So let's say we do. Okay, let me comment it out. Craig match. Oh, okay. So a preg match O returns a number of times a specific search pattern has been found. So let's say string equals to, okay. So and then it writes to say the rain in Spain falls. Let's say the rain in Spain falls mainly mainly on the plains on the plains on the plains. Yeah, so this is the string. Now from this string, we want to figure out how many times we're going to find this n. AIN. Let's say we want to figure out how many times this n occurs on this string. Okay, instead, rather than just counting here to say one, two, three, four, the many times n has been found, we could just come up with just a good pattern here. A pattern. We're going to say, uh, okay, we make use of the same formula there, and then we're going to say we're searching for n. So I want to figure out how many times it occurs uh, on string. So we want to search for how many times you are going to find AIN from this string here. Okay, so now let's try out that. So we're going to say echo uh Craig match underscore O, and then the first. So first we do uh, check for the we put the pattern that we are searching for, and then where secondly we specify where we would like to search this pattern from. So we are searching from string, so here it should return 4. Why? Because if we do try to count how many times this AIN is occurring on this variable here, which we named string, we're going to find that it's returning. It's let's it's occurring one, two, three, four. So it's occurring up to 4 times. So let's try to refresh that. Okay, here we are. Here we are. It has returned 4, which is very correct. So that's how we do with the pregmatch underscore o. Okay, so the only difference between pregmatch o and pregmatch is with pregmatch we just use it to just figure out if the search pattern is occurring. So if it occurs, it returns 1. If it doesn't, it returns 0. On the other hand, with pregmatch underscore o, we simply use it to find out how many times that search pattern occurs. If it occurs 100 times, it's going to return 100 times. If it occurs only one time, one time, it's going to say 1. So those are the differences. Okay, so I'm going to comment out these so that we can leave some space for pregmatch replace. So let me start another code here. PHP. Okay, let's let's go. Okay, so rather than disturbing anything, let me just get this same string here. Let me just name it word this time again, and then okay, so now let's go to preg replace. So now with preg underscore replace regular expression, we can use it to replace all the search pattern from a specific sequence of characters. Let's say in an instance whereby we have this string here, which okay, me maximize the code a little bit. Let's say we do have this string here, which says the rain in Spain falls mainly on the plains. Okay, so let me just create something like to say, uh, I am learning, I am learning from W3 schools. Okay, so now I'm trying. Okay. So let's say we have this, and it writes, and it writes. I am learning from W3 schools. So let's say we don't. Wait. Let's say as a developer, I've come up and made the conclusion to say, no, I'm not learning from W3 schools. So it's better if we do replace this W3 schools uh with levels. So what we're just going to do with preg replace here, we're just going to replace wherever this W3 schools occurs with uh levels. So let's say W3, and then another one to say uh uh W3 schools is okay. Let's say W3 schools. So here we do have three W. Okay, let me just put only one W3 schools. Okay, like I have said, we simply make use of preg underscore replace to replace a sequence of specific characters, or just a single a character to be precisely. So let's say we want to replace this W3 schools from, yeah, with which level. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to create a pattern that's going to replace this. So we're going to use that same formula. Okay, let's say from here, from this word string here, I would like to replace anything that is written W3 schools uh with levels, and then it has to be case sensitive. Yeah, so here we are. So now it doesn't end here. We have this function which we are going to make use of, which does take three parameters. Okay, so I'm going to say echo preg replace preg replace. So it starts with a pattern, like what we are replacing it with, pattern. Okay, pattern. Okay, sorry, I did make a mistake here. Instead, here I'm not supposed to add the delimiter and the modifiers. Okay, so pattern, and then uh, what are you replacing it with? Okay, so okay, okay, yeah. So here supposed to be it's supposed to be W3 schools, W3 schools. So let's say from this way, from this string here, we want to replace this W3 schools with levels. So what I'm just going to do here is we're going to say we start. What are we replacing? We are replacing the pattern, which is W3 schools here. And then what are we replacing it with? We are replacing it with levels. And from where? Okay, so all of these are being done from the word string here. So if so here, what you're just trying to do here is we're trying to we so here what's happening is like this. Let me comment it out. Preg underscore replace. Okay, so here what you're trying what's going on is this. We have this string variable by the name of word, which is assigned to I am learning from W3 schools. Now, we don't want this W3 schools to be occurring from here. So now we want to replace it with something else. So now here we do have a pattern of what we don't want here. So this pattern, it contains this. You see, it contains this. So this simply tells us that we want to replace W3 schools from here. Yeah, so now it just doesn't end from there. We need to call out preg underscore replace. So here we are. We call it to say echo preg underscore replace, and then we say uh pattern. Yeah, so what are we replacing? What are we replacing here? It goes, what are we replacing? We're replacing W3 schools W3 schools with what? With W3 schools. From where? From this from this of variable which is named word, which has I'm learning from W3 schools. So now let's see if it's going to work out. Okay, you see, we have I am learning from with levels. So what's happening here is that if I eliminate this, we're going to find that it's going to display I'm learning from W3 schools. Okay, okay. Let's say let me put it in a variable so that it makes more sense. So I'm going to say a final word final word is equals to, okay, and then I'm just going to display echo final word. Yeah, so I am learning from which levels. Here we are. So we have successfully managed to replace W3 schools from this variable here, which we named word. Yeah, so we have managed. If we want, we can say Google here. If you're learning from Google, so everywhere there's W3 schools here, it's going to be replaced with Google. So it level so Google here. If we want, we can just put Microsoft. So everywhere there's W3 schools, it will be replaced with Microsoft. Okay, Microsoft. So let's revert back with levels. Yeah, so this is how we do with the regular expressions in PHP. We simply make use of uh, the regular expressions when we want to make a specific search pattern from a collection of characters. You see? Yeah. Okay. Guys, that's all I had for this episode, and see you in the next episode where we're going to introduce each other to PHP dates. Cheers.